Hey everyone, Sharky here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Lego Creator Green Mini Cooper. This is an expired set, and I managed to get it for Christmas. So yeah, probably got it off. Santa probably got it off eBay or did a bit of hustling, but I got the set. So let's get into a review. So first off, let's look at the box. As you can see, it's Lego Creator, ages 16 and up, set 1242, the Mini Cooper. It has just over 1,000 pieces, 1,077, and it is of the Lego Creator Expert line. And here is a few other statistics about it. It is 25 centimeters wide, or 9 inches if you are American, I guess. I don't know who else uses Imperial nowadays, but whatever. And there is the box. Don't mind that, that's just looking after some dogs, sorry. You got Lego Club advert, back when Lego Club was a thing, and some other things, and the box is just empty because I already built it. You have the top up here with all the pieces and everything, and a 1:1 scale of the tires. So they aren't the biggest if you see all my other sets, but that makes sense for the Mini. And there's this if you're riding, and a few more shots on some of the play features, if the camera will focus. See out. You can set a picnic and all these things, but I will get to that later. So now let's go to the instruction books, and what you may notice is there are 2 books, which is interesting for a set that only has just above 1,000 pieces, because they didn't do thick books like they do now. So here I'll show you the compare. This is the Ford Mustang set, and it only has 1 book, and it's quite thick, and that has quite a lot more than 1,000 pieces. But for these, they just have 2 thin books. Another interesting thing is you actually read it like this for both of them, and in the back there's an advert for Lego Creator, which is nice. A few adverts for some old, also expired sets, a few town things, and yeah, that's the first one. Also, what you'll notice is for these instructions, there's actually a lot deeper blue for the instructions themselves than these ones. So you see, to compare, look at that, that's a lot brighter, which I think is actually better because it looks more professional in my opinion and is easier to see. There's also a blue border on the instructions, and yeah, it was just interesting to see how Lego used to do instructions compared to how they do them now. Here's instruction booklet 2, win, all this stuff. Lego VIP, that's actually still a thing. Another expired set, the Sydney Opera House. Piece count and all more instructions, and that's all there is to the instructions. There's no like proper extra information. And let's go into the set itself. First, for the set, I'll go to the modifications. One thing is that there was actually a missing piece, which is just one really long line that sits here and gives you a tiny bit of extra grip. First time a piece has ever been missing in a set, which shows Lego's very good quality control, so good job, Lego. Luckily, it was very minor, and I can still use the set perfectly fine, and I don't care. But yeah, it's interesting. First time it's ever happened to me. So yeah, at the front you can, oh yeah, and at the back, before I get into play features, I also modified, I made this a bit thicker of an exhaust pipe than the usual one. But anyway, let's get into those play features, shall we? We shall. So, up at the front, you'll also notice I put an Australian number plate at the front. So, since I'm from Australian Capital Territory, Australian Capital Territory, Canberra. Then you also have an openable door with what I believe is a flat 4, because I see those 4 things coming out, and 2 intercoolers. You can correct me in the comments though, because that's probably not a flat 4. I know more the V's than the flat engines, because I'm used to kind of sports cars and things. But yeah, that's what I think is a flat 4. Now to move on to the sides. No suspension for this model, which is fine, because that's not an expected play feature from a lot of Lego Creator Expert sets. The wing mirror has very minuscule articulation. The doors open, and one smart thing they did, there's also a bit of tan interior there. One thing that they also did, which is quite smart, is this hinge actually goes way too far, and you can put it to like the front of the car, but since they put the wind mirror there, it actually stops it from going further than it should. So I thought that was very smart. Then on the other side, it's of course the same story, minuscule articulation and an openable door. And also for this is actually a sticker, so for the front and back for the Mini Cooper, these are both stickers, which I find, in my opinion, was a tad disappointing, because it would have been nice to have that a printed piece, but that's just my opinion, and it ultimately doesn't really matter much. So the back here, so for the back you have nothing much. You of course have the modified thing that I talked about, and you have your doors, but what you can do is you can open it, and then you have a nice picnic set. So you have a picnic mat here, picnic basket, and a water bottle, and then you can set that up and make a picnic set. I'll get to that later. And then also at the bottom you have a spare tire here. What you can actually do is apply that to the car and it will still function correctly. So if you give me a second, I'll do all that and then I'll see you again. So see you in a bit. Okay, we're back, and now as you can see I have mocked up the thing. So as you can see, there's cheese, a baguette, 2 cups, 1 water bottle instead of like a glass of wine, because Lego has to stay kid friendly, and a nice proper basket. And there's the original tire, which I took out and replaced with the spare tire. So as you can see, there it is there, and it still rolls, functions properly as a tire, so that's nice. And that's another play feature with the set. It can roll with both the modified and with both the spare and original tire. So now let me just install the proper tire, and the wing mirror has just come off because that is completely my fault. I tilted on the side. But as you can see, it can roll with both the replacement and original tire. And now to the roof. So for the roof, it has 2 play features. One of them is the antenna, which would be used for the radio in the real car, can be adjusted. You can also take the roof off, and that's my segue into the interior. Not much play features for the roof, because of course it's the roof. No one's expecting a lot of play features for the roof. So for the interior, let me just turn around the vehicle. You have the steering wheel, you can move it up and down slightly and turn it. This car does not have steering as a play feature because this was made back when LEGO Creator Expert sets did not have turning wheels as a function, so they just rolled back and forth. Kind of like the pullback sets now, if you want a comparison. There's also a gear shift, which is very restricted, so don't try and mimic some of the gear positions for a real car or you'll end up breaking it. There's also a gear stick, a handbrake that you can pull up. And yeah, there's also the seats. The top of the seats go up and down. You can move them forward. And the reason they can move backwards and forwards in real life is so that other people can get into the back seats of the Mini. So yeah, that's actually a feature of the real car. This set was very good. It was everything I hoped it would be, and yeah, ever since I got back into LEGO with the LEGO Creator Expert sets and the Technic sets, I always had my eye on this set, and yeah, it was everything I'd hoped it would be. I'd say, yeah, for what it's trying to be, it's a 10 out of 10. They packed an incredible amount of features into this very small set, and it was a nice small build after building the behemoth of a car, which was the Lamborghini, because this took quite some time to build, and while it was worth it, and it does look very cool, it is nice to have something that looks cool without the crazy piece count. So now onto the size comparison. Okay guys, time for the size comparison before I end this video. So first up, we have it size compared to the LEGO Toucan Mock. Obviously at 42093 it doesn't actually go like this, I just haven't turned it back into the Corvette, and it's very tall, so there's a good depiction of how tall it is. Pretty tall, slightly lower than the camper, but a lot lower than the Ecto. So there it is, if you want. Quick size comparison. Then here it is next to the T1 camper van, which was made before it, and fun fact, this was supposed to be the successor to the T1 camper van, but the T1 camper van was so successful that it ended up going like about 4 more years than this one's runtime before it eventually expired, and then they made the T2 camper van. So this was a very popular set from the same line, so it also can't steer, it just rolls back and forth. So there's two together. Very kind of interesting. I think they might have scaled this down, but maybe it's just a small van because they are making vehicles bigger and bigger nowadays with all the safety and everything. Here it is next to the Ecto 1, which just towers over it, makes it look small, since the Ecto 1 is big. And if you want it to look really small, here is it next to the Lamborghini, whatever. I'm just gonna roll with that. Oh god. Alright, I'll fix that later. Don't worry about that, guys. Just a few pieces. If you really want it to look small, here it is next to the Lamborghini Sian. Actually, that doesn't make it look too small at all. This set isn't actually too small. It is above 1,000 pieces, so I guess it's not that small. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. If you've stayed until the end, I'm guessing, unless you use the chapter feature. So if you did enjoy it, please like, share, subscribe, whatever. I do it at the end instead of the start because I know it's annoying. But anyway, hope you like my video. Maybe subscribe to me if you like LEGO and you want to support a underrated YouTuber who tries his best. Because I do try my best, and I hope you do like my videos, and I understand there's a lot better LEGO YouTubers, so I thank you for looking at mine when you could be looking at anyone else's. Anyway, I've rambled for too long. Roll the outro. See you guys.